KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Push on or take a timeout. That's what San Antonio City Council members had to decide. And after more than 6 hours, they chose to approve terms on a funding plan on a new $1.3 billion arena for the San Antonio Spurs.
Our Garrett Berger and RJ Marquez have been at City Hall all day. Right now, we're going to start with Garrett. So, Garrett, are city leaders done?
Well, the city leaders are, but this process isn't done completely. Now, the terms they passed are non-binding. I should say they're not completely done either. Right now, with passing these non-binding terms, they are, but those are going to serve the basis of future contracts. And voters are also going to be asked about the county share of this funding deal when they head to the ballot box this November. And the deal depends on that passing. The mayor didn't say whether or not she was going to take a position on whether voters should approve it or not, but she did suggest that there could be another vote added into the mix. Now today, business leaders, community groups, regular residents, and Spurs officials packed the meeting and provided about 3 hours of public comment. Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones proposed not considering terms for a funding deal until a new independent economic study could be done and multiple community meetings held. But her resolution failed in a 4-7 vote, along the same council split by which the terms were then passed in a 7-4 vote. But Jones says she will push for putting the city share of the funding onto the ballot too, for voters to decide on in a bond election.
So they will get to vote on the county's contribution in November, and there will be an opportunity. We have to determine the timeline, whether that's May or November. But for the people, assuming that ordinance passes with my council colleagues, and I hope it would, that the city voters would be able to vote on the city's contribution towards the arena.
So what do the terms say anyways? They cap the city and county shares of funding at $489 million and $311 million respectively, with the Spurs covering at least $500 million plus any cost overages. The team would also pay rent on the arena and guarantee new nearby development, which would help fund the city share through taxes and lease payments. And while the mayor's request for a pause is dead, we did hear a couple council members say that they might be interested in doing the economic study anyways. But we'll have to see where that proposal actually goes from here.
Garrett, thank you. Garrett just shared the city side of this entire thing. Our RJ Marquez was also in city council chambers today.
So, RJ, you're up now. What's the next move here for the Spurs?
Yeah, guys, I mean, it's really just about getting the messaging out to voters here as they get ready for that November election. So, guys, I've been basically saying this is basically kind of like a game 3 of the NBA Finals, or kind of like a playoff series. I mean, you had to get this term sheet approved from the city before you get ready for the November vote, which the Spurs and Chairman Peter J. Holt believe will be the ultimate decider whether this arena project gets done here in the downtown area. And as he said, now the campaign really starts for November. I asked about Peter J. Holt's reaction, and he is clearly pleased with the council's vote earlier this afternoon, but said that they have a lot of work to do to convince voters that this is a mutual benefit not only for the Spurs, but for the people, the city, and the county as well. He did not want to answer, though, what would happen if the November vote ultimately did not pass. But I also asked him, after seeing several people here today in council chambers publicly speak against the arena, and obviously Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones's concerns, what his thoughts were about all of that. Here's what he had to say.
It takes a tremendous amount of courage to come and voice your opinion and do research and ask questions or make critiques. And I think that's great. That's one of the things that makes this city great and this country great, is that you can have that dialogue and you can even disagree with respect and love and passion. So that's great. And what it shows me is that people really care, and people really care about our city. People care about Spurs. And so we have an immense opportunity now ahead of us to communicate and educate and answer questions.
Yeah, guys, and you know what? Going into today's vote, my sources within the Spurs Sports and Entertainment, their organization said that they felt pretty good about the vote and what the results would be. I mean, they had a large contingent of folks here, not only Peter J. Holt, but Brian Wright, R.C. Buford. But I would say that I would imagine that they're a little surprised at just the amount of feedback and some of the pushback that they received. So there's a lot of work on their end to be done before we get to the November vote. We've been told that they're going to go into neighborhoods, communities, go into churches as well to try and convince some of these voters that, again, this would be good not only for the Spurs, but for the city and the people as well. All right, so guys, it's been an adventure here covering City Hall along with my colleague Garrett Berger. We're going to send it back to you guys here in the studio.
All right, RJ, yeah, and you kind of got the sense, RJ, that they wanted to get this started as soon as possible, so that's why they wanted this passed today, so the Spurs and their advocates could get out there and start educating people. Thank you. RJ Marquez live from City Council chambers. All right, let's check out the weather situation and the fact that we got a lot of rain in certain parts of our viewing area.
This is true. The question is whether we're done with that today, Adam.
It's really coming to an end and really winding down. And you look at the rainfall totals over the past 12 hours, we had pretty good coverage across South Central Texas, just not much coverage in and around San Antonio, especially within 410. We really missed out on a lot of the rain. We felt the outflow boundaries, heard some thunder into the distance, and that was it. And even in Comal County largely missed out on the rain today in western Guadalupe County. But you see parts of the hill country picked up between 1 and 3 inches of rain. Those are the yellow spots that you see here. And even some pockets of 3 inches of slightly more than 3 inches, especially in northwestern Wilson County is what we saw. So some impressive accumulations, of course. It's rain around here, the haves and the have-nots. That's the situation that we always deal with when it comes to rain. Looking at the current radar picture, it's all far east and southeast of San Antonio, and this activity is coming to an end. Now that we're losing our daytime heating from the sun setting, these are going to lose their luster and lose their punch and slowly continue to dissipate. But another round of rain is possible tomorrow, and we'll get into that and talk about the timing in just a bit.
Now over to the Hill Country. Housing, obviously the top priority, and one nonprofit in Kirk County is now making that a lot easier. The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country now pledging $40 million for housing.
Yeah, I'd really call it emergency housing. The governor in Kerrville today as well, where he praised that nonprofit. Courtney Friedman was there and tells us exactly where this emergency housing money will go.
Images hard to unsee. Lives cannot be replaced, but a group of organizations hopes that at least homes can.
You're saving a grandmother who's taking care of their kids, maybe a single mom, maybe a family who's struggling, doesn't know where they're going to get their next meal.
At a press conference set in front of the devastation itself, the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country announced a $40 million pledge specifically for housing recovery.
It's really important to get people in temporary housing and get the assistance they need, whether it's rental assistance or through our partners with Airbnb. It's also important to really start the process of repairing and rebuilding.
Community Foundation CEO Austin Dixon says that $40 million is all from donations, large and small. Though it's not state funding, the governor was invited to speak at the event where he praised the speed of the donation disbursement.
I've never seen a community or a foundation respond faster at literally getting the resources donated to the people who need it the most.
The big question now, which housing projects will be prioritized?
Today we made a grant of $1.6 million to Airbnb, which will house up to 60 families for a maximum of up to a year in local Airbnbs.
Christoph Gorder is the CEO of Airbnb's nonprofit, Airbnb.org, which has allowed local Airbnbs to house community members for free since July 4th.
We're able to go even further and provide longer-term stays for the families who really need it the most.
Also at the table, local builders who will get some of this funding to continue building houses for displaced local families.
We have vetted subcontractors that are coming in and donating. We have licensed electricians, plumbers, people that know what they're doing helping families down here.
Hunt ISD Superintendent Lucy Harmon says this funding impacts all facets of life, especially for families with kids who just went back to school.
Our students thrive when their housing situation is under control.
They are in the process of laying out when this money will actually be dispersed. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
And tonight, we're going to look into what may be behind all these recent stories that we've shared with you about local parents being charged.
Yeah, recently a toddler found alone wandering the streets in a dirty diaper. We've also told you about kids being left home alone. One expert told Katrina Weber why this may be a sign of the times.
A plea for information last month first shed light on a toddler found wandering in a West Bexar County subdivision. The 2-year-old had caught the eye of a neighbor driving by, who then took him to safety. Sheriff's deputies worked for hours to find his mother, eventually taking 24-year-old Destiny Salaya into custody.
I don't know her full situation, but sometimes I do know that it can be rough.
Gabriella, who found the boy, told us at the time she was surprised, but it turns out it wasn't exactly an isolated case. This past weekend, another toddler, a 2-year-old girl, was found on Southeast Bexar County streets. Deputies also placed her parents, 36-year-old Benito Lopez IV and 33-year-old Alexandria Pruitt, in handcuffs. 2 days later, 35-year-old Danielle Segundo was in similar trouble. San Antonio police say she left her 4- and 5-year-old daughters home alone.
My heart breaks for those families and our community because we're in a really tough spot.
Chelsea Steele heads up Any Baby Can, an organization working to educate and empower families with children. She says she's seeing more parents in distress lately due to what's happening around us.
Wages have not been on pace. There's not affordable childcare. So all of these things together can exacerbate these issues.
While all of the mothers involved in these cases have ended up here in the jail, Steele says that may not be the best place for them. She says in many cases like this, community is more needed than criminal charges.
Every single person to come together and say, how can we help each other?
It takes a village, she says, people helping people avoid the pitfalls. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Now we're going to take things outside and give you a live view of our traffic from our traffic camera here, and that's I-37 at the Alamo Dome. I just checked with TxDOT. Nothing showed up as to why this is happening exactly, but you can see that the left lane right there is backed up.
My guess is this is the exit from 37 to 35 that's backing up. I'm guessing these are the northbound lanes of 37.
Okay.
So that there's some construction and stuff like that, especially on the upper level at 35, maybe why this is backing up.
But no collisions or anything like that. We just want to make you aware of the traffic right there. All right, now stay right where you are, and we'll be right back after the break.
Tonight, we're hearing from the woman handcuffed and arrested at an Edgewood ISD board meeting earlier this week. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, her side of the story. Parental concerns still out there, and the district's response.
Plus 18 violations ranging from unsanitary kitchens to inedible food. An all-new episode, Behind the Kitchen Door. Those stories and more come your way tonight on the Night Beat at 10. Texas lawmakers taking a major step toward approving new congressional maps in the controversial redistricting push, passing the proposal through the Texas House on Wednesday. But not everybody's on board with this.
Of course not. Today, the NAACP and LULAC spoke out against those proposed maps, and they're arguing that they're unfair and that they would also limit the power of minority voters. Erica Hernandez has more on their concerns.
Redistricting typically happens every 10 years when a census is done. But this year, at the request of President Donald Trump, Texas Republicans announced House Bill 4 as a way to redo the current congressional maps in hopes of using those districts for next year's midterm election. After a 2-week walkout by Texas House Democrats, a vote was passed on HB 4 by the House yesterday.
You chose to leave, or some of you did. That's your choice. We chose to stay. That was our choice. So, members, I want everybody to know this is the plan. It has been supported. It has council approval, and it absolutely should pass.
The governor telling KSAT 12 today he could sign the bill by end of the week.
We were just drawing these maps based upon new law to make sure that the voter choice, the candidate choice of all voters was going to be met.
The new maps could change districts for 4 of our area representatives, Congressman Henry Cuellar, Vicente Gonzalez, Lloyd Doggett, and Greg Casar. For Cuellar and Gonzalez, according to the Texas Tribune, the change will now become slightly more favorable to Republicans in an area of Texas that is overwhelmingly Hispanic. Today, the NAACP and LULAC holding a press conference expressing their frustration with the bill and saying it suppresses minority voters across the state.
This is not a partisan gerrymander. This is not a power grab. This is a racist power grab.
Is a egregious display of power on the backs of minorities.
As for what's next, both organizations saying once the bill is signed, they will be pursuing legal action in hopes the courts will stop the new maps from taking effect. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Take a live look outside right now. Look at that temperature. August.
So much better.
I mean, even if you didn't get rain, at least you got the cooler temperatures today.
100%. We all felt some effects of the rain that was scattered across the area. I was hearing thunder off in the distance, felt the cool outflow, but never got rain where I was at my location. You go to the far northwest side near the rim, and there's one of the rain shafts, one of the downpours that popped up earlier today. That photo issued about 4 hours ago. You look at a 30 radar right now, and it's all closer to the Gulf Coast, and even then, it's really starting to wind down and come to an end. Farther to the west of San Antonio, all the rain is over with. So this is basically the last little hurrah for the rest of this evening, then quiet over the next few hours and especially overnight tonight, with another round possible as we get into tomorrow. Really quickly, take a look at some of these rainfall accumulations. I want to focus in here. This is Wilson County. City of Calaveras, check this out, right near 181, 3.4 inches. Look at that, 3.8 near Verdi, 2.8 inches. But of course, that's that extreme cutoff. You go just a couple of miles to the northwest into Elmendorf and just about nothing. See, a lot of San Antonio was a have-not today, whereas surrounding areas got in on the action earlier today. Let's talk about our rain chances as we get into tomorrow. And as usual with the Futurecast, don't pay close attention to the exact location of the showers that you see on here. They could be anywhere on the map. This is just, I think, a decent visual representation of coverage and how much rain, how many storms we could have at any given time between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Most of us will be missing out on the action tomorrow, but there is the opportunity for some lucky neighborhoods to get a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain from a few downpours. Again, mainly 2 to 7 p.m. as we get into tomorrow. And tomorrow's our next best chance at 40%, and then just a 10 to 20% chance over the weekend in the afternoon hours. Nothing significant, mainly dry this weekend. If we're lucky, we'll see a few pop-up rogue showers. And then next week, middle of the week, another very slight opportunity, and that's about it. I want to take a look at the drought monitor. It has been updated, and some improvements have been made in Medina County. Notice I outlined the severe, extreme, and exceptional drought area because I do want to point out that we did pick up a decent amount of rain in those areas that is not taken into account for this drought monitor. The data cutoff is Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., and we've had rain since then. That's why some 2 to 3 inches in Medina County and Wilson County hasn't really been accounted for. Now, we mentioned the temperatures outside. Look at this. We could very well see triple digits on the map at this hour, this mid-August, but we don't. Boulevardy 78, 84 at the airport, 92 Divine, but 81 in Utopia, 80 in Floresville. And then tomorrow we'll get back well into the 90s for our high temperature. Starting the day at 75, 95 the high, that 40% chance from roughly 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then chances are very minimal this weekend. And temperatures are really just more of what we've been accustomed to in the upper 90s going forward.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
Not quite ideal football weather, especially for high school football players. But all right, talk to me about the Johnson Jaguars. They had a fantastic season last year, but they're not cocky.
They are not cocky at all, and I'll tell you what, they're one of the best 6A programs in the area, led by head coach T.P. Miller. The Johnson Jaguars are looking to defend their district title this season, and they're all about rising up. Plus, in the NFL, Shoddy, he's optimistic that the Lion will play in the Cowboys' regular season opener coming up.
really just attention to detail. We just need to stay ready, stay focused, play together, and just, being locked in every snap, every minute of the game.
Try and limit the mistakes, and just try to get the win.
And that should be enough to push us past. Yes, sir.
If all that happens, the Johnson Jaguars feel confident that they can top Judson 1 week from today in big board sports. Led by head coach T.P. Miller, the Johnson Jaguars are one of the top 6A teams in the area and looking to defend their district championship. Last season, they went 10-2 overall and a perfect 7-0 in District 27 6A, and that's no easy feat because 27 6A is one of the toughest districts around. Now, the Jags did lose in the second round of the 6A D1 playoffs to Lake Travis. So the Jaguars have 6 offensive starters and 9 defensive starters coming back from last season, and they are predicted to win 27 6A per Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Yeah, the Jags know they're a very good team, but they are also level-headed.
We just think that what we did last year doesn't matter anymore, you know what I mean? So we're just going to build, although we're still building off of it, we're not going to be like, oh, we went second round last year. We're just starting 0-0.
I told them this, everybody's undefeated right now. And we have to take one game at a time. We got to take care of the Johnson Jaguars, and we cannot sleep on any opponent. Every week is a do or die week.
We've just been building on what we did in spring because the defense, we had a really good spring. We did everything right. We were focused, locked in, but this fall's just been about sharpening our tools, just honing on what we did during spring, just building on that.
Our motto this year is to rise up. And so rising up as a student athlete on the field and off the field, characteristics, but also on the field. Same thing for the coaching staff, same thing with our athletic trainers. It's going to take a whole community to get behind this movement in order to reach the short-term goal, which is a district championship, and reach our long-term goal, which is state championship. And we have everything here to do so. So we just got to take one game at a time.
Johnson will play at Judson 1 week from tonight at 7 p.m. at Rutledge Stadium. And here's the matchup for the KSAT Pigskin Classic on Thursday, August 28th at Ferris Stadium. Sotomayor will face Clark to kick off the season. The game will be broadcast live on KSAT 12 and streamed live on KSAT Plus, the Big Game Coverage app, and KSAT.com. We'll have coverage throughout the week leading up to kickoff, including a 30-minute pregame show starting at 6:30 p.m. So we are 2 weeks away from the Dallas Cowboys kicking off the regular season at the Philadelphia Eagles, and Micah Parsons still does not have the contract extension he craves. Cowboys legend Troy Aikman said Parsons' leverage is they can't win without him. Yesterday, head coach Brian Schottenheimer had this response to that.
We all get that it takes 53 plus in this league because you have elevations and things that you can do on game day with your practice squad guys and stuff like that. But again, I think that the ultimate team game, that's the way I've always looked at it, and I don't see this situation any different.
Does it make it harder to scheme a game plan, though, as a head coach without one of your top players?
No, because I think at the end of the day, we feel like Mike is going to be out there when we can line up against Philadelphia here in 15 days or whatever it is. And so no, the answer is, yeah, I feel good about that, yeah.
Without a contract extension?
I feel good that Mike is going to be out there against the Philadelphia Eagles.
You heard it. He feels good about it.
Yeah, we'll see if he's right.
Yep.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay, we're going to have a party up next. Our friend Stephanie Guerra from Puro Picks is here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. Oh, come on. I just want to dance when I hear that. It's about that time every weekend we know is a party here in San Antonio, and we want to make sure that you know what's happening around town.
Stephanie Guerra, always in the know. She joins us now for Pearl Picks, and we're going to start with something at Floor's Country Store.
This is just for you, Steve, since this is our last show together.
This is can you believe this is my last Thursday at KSAT?
No, it's unbelievable. I'm going to take a poll.
We'll get you some tissue
on my audience later and see if we should really let you go or not.
You'll force him to
make me stay. Yeah, that's true. I do have to abide by Stephanie.
So yes, I think this is a really cool show at Floor's going on tomorrow. Something you don't see too often. Country singer Aaron Watson is going to play with Signo, which is a Tejano group, a Latin group, right? So this is going to be a really fun concert. They've been promoting it for a while now. We want to make sure Floor's is sold out tomorrow night. Show starts at 7. I mean, it's just something you don't get to see too much, especially out in good old Helotes, you know? Like, it's really cool to see these two amazing headlining acts on, the stage together, sharing the stage. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You can go wear your Stetson out there if you decide to go.
Well, Floor's is also a very cool place.
It is. It's iconic. We love floors.
Yeah.
And then there's something going on at the Majestic Theater with Marcelo Hernandez.
Ooh, okay.
That guy is very funny on Saturday Night Live. I know you're not doing that because he's funny, but he is. He's a funny guy.
His amount of talent is just
has many qualities.
Yes.
Marcelo from SNL, obviously.
Yes.
He is going to be at the Majestic Theater tomorrow. The only performance that has tickets left is 10 p.m. So he does have an earlier show in the night. That one sold out almost immediately. There are still a few tickets, I checked before I came on tonight, left for tomorrow. Don't miss him. I don't know when he's going to be back. I want to thank whoever brought him and booked him here in San Antonio. We want more, Marcelo. If you want to bring, Pedro Pascal next, Bad Bunny.
Oh, I love that skit.
They're honey. They're so funny.
You're just putting out all these
requests. I'm so nervous
requests
right now. But yes, Marcelo, if you're watching, hey. But I'm super excited for that show tomorrow night. It's going to be a really cool thing for San Antonio to see.
Yeah, it will be. All right, for this next thing, you've got to go underground. And this is one of my favorite places. I love Jazz Texas.
So many people still don't know that it's there.
Yeah.
And can you just think, like, every day thousands of people walk by the Pearl in the courtyard and they don't know that there is a jazz club underground.
But that's kind of what makes it cool.
And I love that. And it's really hard to believe that they're completing their 9-year anniversary there. So I remember
Doc Watson.
When Doc opened the place like yesterday, he was gigging around town and then all of a sudden he had his own spot. So there are a couple of seats left for the shows this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Don't worry, they're not going anywhere if you can't make it out this weekend, but they have special toasts and special guests going on, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, Doc always just does the best guest shows, right? So you never know who's going to pop up. I think the next coolest thing is, his Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yes.
And I love when he brings like famous guests. He does like a La La Land tribute. He brings Mariachi Las Coronelas, big band jazz singers. Like, if you haven't been to Jazz Texas, it's only been 9 years. It's time for you to check it out.
Doc Watson is the consummate entertainer.
100%.
Yes.
He's a good friend.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. Okay, I'm glad I'm saying good things about him then.
So next up, there's something that's happening tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. High Tones.
We have all these multi-day events this weekend.
Yes.
So
just down the street.
Yes, High Tones on the North St. Mary's Strip is celebrating their 14th anniversary, their 14th birthday party. Feliz cumpleaños, High Tones. High Tones claims that they are the home of the pickle shots and the chamoy shots. So if you don't know, High Tones was shuffled in this whole younger generation of Latinos and people going out on the St. Mary's Strip 14 years ago. They paid tribute to Salute, which used to be a little further down St. Mary's, that hosted iconic Latino musicians. Now we have High Tones. It's actually 2-story now. There's a secret tiki bar upstairs called Holy Diver. But there's live music going on tonight, tomorrow, Sunday. You can try out those pickle and chamoy drinks. $5 to get in. Tomorrow night, I think, is really cool. They have Los de Esta Noche and Las Hijas de la Madre, and they kicked off High Tones 14 years ago. So really fun celebration. It is a little bit...
A lot of anniversaries, birthdays going on.
Yeah, there's so much to do. If you like to sit down and hear jazz, celebrate Jazz Texas anniversary. If you like to rock out with the young Latino generation, go to High Tones.
Yeah. All right, this next thing I want you to explain to me a little bit. It is a Kings of Horror presents 90s summer throwback at Wonderland of the Americas. And you know what stands out to me? Squints from Sandlot is going to be there.
Yes. So Kings of Horror is a local production company that produces all kinds of pop culture shows.
Yes.
A lot of them are in Wonderland Mall. So this 90s summer throwback, right? Like, what else do you do during the summer? You play baseball outside.
Yeah.
And so a big majority of the cast of The Sandlot, I believe 7 out of 9, sorry, Benny the Jet Rodriguez is not going to be there, but Squints is going to be there, Smalls, Repeat, like all these fun actors are going to be there Saturday and Sunday, and it's free. So you can go down, take the fam, take your baseball memorabilia. There's so many classic one-liners from The Sandlot that we still repeat today. But this is going to be just a fun, family fun weekend. And did you know San Antonio has their own Sandlot baseball teams? Like, we have our own Sandlot teams. It's a big thing in Texas. They play in Lockhart, El Paso, Marfa.
Like semi-pro kind of teams?
It's just local guys.
Yeah.
You need to join.
Yeah. I can fit it into my schedule now.
Yeah. Okay, so next. So
Adam is not happy we keep talking about me leaving, just so you know.
You can just probably hear him faintly. All right, so 100% NDN.
Yes, so this is going to be a really neat performance. The Americans, Indians in Texas at the Spanish colonial missions are presenting 100% NDN, naturally designed native. So it's actually a play at the San Pedro Playhouse, starring Jesse Borrego and Lisa Suarez. And it follows them just kind of through their journey of reclaiming their indigenous culture, heritage, and roots in like the modern world, and it takes on a journey. And so this is going to be a really neat performance. They have Saturday at 7 and 2 o'clock on Sunday. It's only $12. Like, you can go see Jesse Borrego in a play for $12. I think that's an amazing price. And it's also a benefit for their nonprofit. So I think it's a really good performance to check out. It's culturally relevant, and our own San Antonio stars that are going to be performing in that. But yeah, 100% NDN going on Saturday and Sunday, and you can find the tickets on the AITSCM.org website.
Gotta say, if you're bored this weekend, I don't know what to tell you.
That is a full slate of things to do.
Yeah,
We're
and in
just
different
not
parts
trying.
of town.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Puro a hug before I leave here.
Don't make me cry. I don't cry. I'm too Pluto to cry.
I'm not leaving San Antonio.
Everyone take a picture. Cheese. Come on. There we go. But Pluto Pix is still going to be here.
Yes.
But Steve is
I won't be. Yeah.
Don't keep reminding us. We'll be right back. We like showing you the live cam today, just because you look at the picture outside and then you look all the way down and you see that it's 84 degrees and you just smile.
And you may want to take a picture of it because it's not going to be around for a while.
No, these are the days where we're lucky, fortunate, blessed, however you want to put it, where it's not that hot because of all the showers around us. I know we didn't get much in San Antonio today, especially within 410, but other parts of our area did. And we're still seeing some of this rainfall in Lavaca County, especially eastern Lavaca County, and it's dissipating in DeWitt County as it heads toward Victoria and just clipping Goliad. But locally, we don't have the shower activity right now. Coming up in a few minutes, we will take a look at Hurricane Erin and where it's headed, how strong it is, and where it's going. But look at the rainfall from earlier today. The yellow indicating upwards of 2 inches of rain. So parts of the hill country seeing upwards of 2 inches of rain, especially in parts of Bandera and Real counties. We'll have the forecast for tomorrow and the timing of the rain in just a bit.
Oh my, so a lot of us have been talking about our grass looking kind of mustardy, but it's a good thing because some areas around town got some rain today and we are getting some more soon.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to know that even in Lavernia, the grass is not always green.
Okay, I'm just going to address this right now. I live in Lavernia and Steve loves to bring it up all the time.
The Metroplex, Lavernia. I mean, it's good to know. I love Lavernia, by the way.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Have you met the Burger King?
The Burger King?
The Burger King. He lives in Lavernia.
We can keep talking about this because my computer.
Are you frozen up right now?
Yeah, I'm frozen up again.
Okay, let me tell my Burger King story.
Yes,
you want me
please.
to tell the Burger King story?
I
drove through with my kids the Burger King in Lavernia. I love telling this story. Guy takes my order. Was the same guy who took my money at the next window and was the same guy who gave me my food at the final window. He truly is the Burger King.
Love it.
And you called him that and you made sure he knew.
I told him, I said,
Burger King.
dude, you are the Burger King.
Yeah.
So.
But there's way more than just a Burger King in Lavernia.
Absolutely. Of course. I could go on and on.
Yes. It's blowing up like so many areas just around San Antonio.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, Adam, are you still working on that?
Yeah, but we can still talk about the weather.
Let's talk about your canyon. You want to just talk about that for?
Yeah, we'll get to
something because that's an impressive.
Honestly, we've done the forecast and all
piece of machinery.
It is impressive. I don't know which camera you want me to be at, but we can, if we can, let's just toss to Therm Thurs early because we're having some issues here.
Yes.
And you know how Thermometer Thursday sometimes gets turned into crafting with Caskey.
Yes.
And I think that's a good way to put this. So, Pigskin Classics coming up.
That's right, yeah.
So
1 week from today.
Yeah, I've been busy. I had to put thermometers off for a little bit because it's time to make a new canyon. They get beat up a little bit. And sometimes I just get issues or I'll drop them on the hard surface, like on pavement, and they'll break or crack or something. Hi. I was like, hey, I'm actually in this video as I'm making this with a little tripod and of course speeding it up. And eventually I do want to put a more elaborate video together about how I make these t-shirt and confetti cannons, the cañones, because a lot of people ask and whatnot, but I will preface it with, I'm not responsible for any injuries incurred while making or using them. But anyway, this is the finished product. This is the finished product of the newest one with an improved valve too. I got a much better valve. You want to see how heavy these are?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, that is pretty heavy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the poundage,
okay, you can take this. Take it back.
You know, how heavy's the cañon?
Yeah.
Right? Hashtag Matsu lift.
Hashtag Matsu lift. Hashtag swole.
So anyway, it's going to be good to go. Got to get it painted up. Got to get the stickers on it. We'll be launching the t-shirts next Thursday.
What color are you thinking?
Red. Apple red, satin. Always. That's one of my favorite
KSAT
ghosts.
red.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we'll get it going, and I should be able to fit about 5 to 7 t-shirts in here at once. And a previous Canyon, in the Alamo Dome, I could hit the screens in the corners from field level.
I remember.
Wow.
That was an impressive piece of work right there.
How could we forget, right?
Yeah.
Really quickly, Hurricane Aaron, because instead of talking about it, it's between Carolinas and Bermuda, staying out to sea, but it's kicking up the surf significantly along parts of the east coast of the U.S. And then we are tracking other development behind it. That's likely, basically one right in its wake is likely to develop as well. So that's another aspect that we're watching in the tropics, but that would steer clear of the Gulf. That would stay away from us, but farther to the east, closer to Africa. Another wave's coming off that we'll have to watch. In the meantime, if it's Cañón de Casquirón, is this Cañón de Camisa? Right?
Yes.
Launching shirts.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
Okay.
Got my Duolingo.
Camión de camisas. You have to
There
say
we go.
it has to be-
Cañón. Say it again one more time.
Camisas.
Camisas, yes.
Shirts.
It takes me a little longer to process.
Like I'm the
all
expert. Just remembered what she said.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll be making thermometers again, but I have some other priorities to get to right now.
This is
All
very
right, let's get to the primetime lineup tonight on ABC leading up to the night beats. And we start with Celebrity Family Feud, then 2 hours of the $100,000 pyramid. So technically, I guess that could be $200,000 of pyramid.
You're here all night.
It comes your way at 10 o'clock, till 10 o'clock, and we'll see you on the night. It is not KSAT Sports delayed. It is KSAT Sports now, and it comes your way at 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday, right after the show.
Yep.
And tonight, at least part of the show is going to be the quarterback version.
It is
of KSAT
indeed.
Sports now.
Yeah, so Mary Robinger recently sat down with UTSA Roadrunners quarterback Owen McCown, talked to him for quite a long time, so we're breaking it down into 2 parts, I believe. Tonight is part 1. He talks about the fact that he transferred from Colorado to UTSA entering his 3rd season. He's also talking about that he knew he was going to be a quarterback in football because of his dad, who played in the NFL for many years. And there's also a fun fact, not a lot of people know, that Coach Traylor coached his dad back in high school. So Owen is talking about that.
Wow, I did not know that.
That is pretty neat.
Yeah, when your last name's McCown, you have to play quarterback.
Absolutely.
All right, you sat down with Richie Torres, too, the starting quarterback at Incarnate Word. Mm-hmm. And I remember being a Nebraska grad, I remember when he signed with the Huskers, I was excited about him.
Yes.
And then he got hurt his senior year.
Yep.
And it seems as if that kind of led to a bit of a spiral in his career.
It did, and he told me that was the lowest part of his career when he blew out his knee, and then he didn't even really have a chance to compete at Nebraska. But now he's at Incarnate Word. He's talking about how his faith has helped him, and he's also talking about repping the South Side and the fact that he wanted to go there and show that you can make it big time despite being from the South Side. He loves doing that.
Yeah, I also like the fact that he said there's no good Mexican food in Nebraska. True, but there's no food like San Antonio anywhere else.
Exactly.
So, KSAT Sports Now comes your way at 7 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Repairing fences, adding more lighting, those are the small changes San Antonio police say have helped them reduce crime in one neighborhood. We're going to tell you what neighborhood that is and what the people who live there are saying.
All right, here's a look at Hurricane Erin. Yeah, a little reboot does the system well, doesn't it? We're cooking again. Category 2 right now, it's gradually weakening, and luckily the center of it's staying out to sea, but it is impacting beaches along the East Coast, some coastal erosion and high waves, and of course rip currents as well. And then an 80% chance of development out there closer to the Leeward Islands. Notice how that would trend northward away from the Gulf, and then a 50% chance farther to the east. Tomorrow afternoon, some scattered downpours.
Thank you, and we'll see you right back here for the Night Beat.
See you at 10.